Good evening. It's November 11th, 2014. Notice of this meeting stating date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk, please conduct the prayer and flag salute.
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll ask everybody to stay standing for a moment of silence for Veterans Day. Thank you. In the event of emergency, the proper method for exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, move away from the area of the front steps. And any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided in the front of the room. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must make a call, please leave the chambers to do so. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Kalbus.
Here.
Byer.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Armstead.
Here.
Cosby Hurley.
Here.
Sadowski.
Here.
Midachinko.
Here.
Yamakaitis.
Here.
Medina.
Here.
Kaczynski.
He's absent. He's excused.
Mr. Moore.
Here. Thank you. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting for October 21st, 2014.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the minutes and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Here.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurley.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. We'll move into ordinance tabled at a meeting of October. We're going to have a presentation tonight, but gentleman's running a little late, so we'll conduct our business first. All right, so back to the ordinance tabled at the meeting of October 21st, 2014. This is the date and time established for consideration of ordinance 58-59. Ask for a motion.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we untable ordinance 58-59. I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurley.
No.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. I'd like to ask for a motion to adopt.
Yes, Mr. President, I would seek a motion to adopt ordinance 58-59, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurley.
No.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Thank you. Ordinance on hearings. This is the date and time established for a public hearing on ordinance on hearings. Ordinance 5865.
Bond ordinance approving an appropriation of $133,100 for the installation of traffic signals and related traffic improvements for the police department, and authorizing the issuance of $126,445 in bonds or notes for financing part of the cost.
Mr. Clerk, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Have we received any written communication?
No, sir.
Does anyone in the chambers wish to be heard on the ordinance? Ask for a motion then?
Council President, make a motion for the passage of ordinance 58-65 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Cosby Hurley.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Mr. Clerk, 5866, please.
Bond ordinance amending bond ordinance number 58-27, finally adopted May 20th, 2014, relative to the acquisition and installation of a gas generator for the City Hall.
Has this ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Have we received any written communication?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the chambers wish to be heard on the ordinance? Seeing none, I ask for a motion.
Council President, I move ordinance 5866 for introduction and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5867, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 10, Building and Housing, Section 10-19. Fees shall be amended and supplemented as follows. Delete Section 10-19.11, fees in its entirety. Add Section 10-19.11, fees as follows. The annual fee for registering a vacant property shall be $600, prorated at a rate of $50 per month, or divided by 12 and multiplied by the remaining number of months in the initial registration calendar year.
Mr. Clerk, has this ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Have we received any written communication?
No, sir.
Is anyone in the chambers wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Please come up, state your name.
Chivalry is not yet dead. Thank you, Paul. With regard to this, does this apply to both, Pat here on Wheat Chief Road, does this apply to both commercial and residential or just residential?
Mr. Hudak?
It applies to vacant properties. It is targeted particularly at the residential, which is where the issue has arisen, and we have mortgage companies that are in control of properties and letting them lay fallow without maintaining them. So this is a way to find out who they are and to enforce maintenance on the properties.
Okay, how, does this apply to, for example, properties where the homeowner has died and is left vacant because of that reason? Would it also apply to them?
If the property is vacant, it would apply to them. It would apply to the subsequent, whoever has title to the property, whether it's a mortgage company, a trustee, an estate. If you're allowing the property to be vacant and disintegrate, and basically disintegrate, and affect properties around it, you have to register so that the city knows who to go to enforce cleanup of the property. Otherwise, we have no reason, no knowledge of who owns the property to go seek them to clean up the property, and the city is expending sums going out and cleaning up the property and then putting liens on the property.
Okay, now does this, have we ever had a fee like this before, or is this the first time we're having this fee?
This is a new fee that's been authorized by statute, is being instituted in many municipalities in view of the number of foreclosures that have occurred in cities to get the properties registered so that the municipalities know who the owners are, so that when they need the properties addressed, they can contact the owners, whether it's the mortgage company, the trustee, the estate, or an owner who just decides to move out of town and abandon the property.
Okay, does this apply to a property that's being actively marketed, that may be vacant, but it's also like up for sale?
It's would depend, the ordinance has certain definitions in it. It would depend upon whether it fits within the definitions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we induct ordinance 58-67 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Mr. Clerk, 5868, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on Street, shall be amended as follows. Add 510 Roselle Street.
Mr. Clerk, has this ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Have we received any written communication?
No, sir.
Does anyone in the chambers wish to be heard on this ordinance? I ask for a motion, please.
Council President, ask for the passage of ordinance 58-68 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
yes,
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Mr. Clerk, 5870, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 7-22.1, four-way stop intersection shall be amended as follows. Add DeWitt Terrace and Edgewood Road, DeWitt Terrace and Fernwood Terrace, DeWitt Terrace and Princeton Road, Orchard Terrace and Edgewood Road, Orchard Terrace and Fernwood Terrace, Dill Avenue and Adams Street.
Mr. Clerk, has this ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received about this ordinance?
No, sir.
Does anyone in the chambers wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, I ask for a motion.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the adoption of 58-70 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. We're moving to the consent agenda. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the City Council, be enacted with one motion. Be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or citizen so requests. In the event, the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. We have items 1, 2, 3. Does anyone wish to remove an item? I ask for a motion on 1 through 3, please.
Council President, I ask for consent agenda items 1 to 3 be passed and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus.
Yes.
Byer.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
yes,
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. We'll move into our committee reports. I ask Councilman Colibus for his report tonight.
Thank you, Council President. First of all, I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. I want to thank you for all your service that you have done for our country and continue to do. I want to say congratulations to Mayor-elect Derek Armstead on his win in the election. Council President-elect George Alvarez, Councilman-elect Monty Brooks, Councilwoman-elect Gretchen Hickey, re-election of Councilman Bob Sadowski, and re-election of Councilman Michelle Yemakaitis. Did I get everybody?
Yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. I have a report from the License Inspector's Office. The City Clerk's License Division is submitting this monthly report. For the month of October 2014, this office issued 46 dog licenses and 85 miscellaneous licenses and collected $2,062. From the Engineer Committee, a public hearing took place on October 31st regarding applications to the Union County Community Developing Revenue Sharing Committee. The demolition of buildings at 13 Knopf Street and 830 Northwood Avenue have been completed. Chenley Point Road from Main Street to Walter Street was resurfaced earlier this week by Stillo Contracting, which finally completes the 2013 capital resurfacing project, which included sections of Orchard Terrace, Ferber Avenue, Morristown Road, and Aruda Street. Only punch list items remain. The 2014 state aid resurfacing project should begin this week with concrete work prior to milling and paving by Mark Paving. The locations include sections of Middlesex Street, Park Avenue Bridge approaches, East Curtis Street, DeWitt Street, DeWitt Terrace, and Elmwood Terrace. This week's Stylo Contracting will be milling and resurfacing punch list issues for 2013 state aid resurfacing projects on Lower Road, East Linden Avenue, and South Park Avenue. New Jersey American Water has begun final asphalt restoration on the streets where they installed new water mains in service earlier this year. The contractor is Mark Paving. This week's work will be on sections of Clinton Street and Bergen Avenue. Other streets include Essex Avenue, Grant Street, Allen Street, West Stimson Avenue, Lincoln Street, and Clark Street, and a schedule will be available in the engineering department. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Calvis?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko. Yemakaitis.
yes,
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
From the Office of the City Clerk, the following licenses, permits, and transcripts issued in the City Clerk's office during the month of October 2014, and fees received have been turned over to the municipal treasurer of the City of Linden. There was a total of 417 transactions. City revenue totaled $5,814.15. State revenue was $400 for a grand total of $6,214.15. First Ward concerns, if anybody has a request, I can be reached at 908-925-5568. And since this is our last meeting before Thanksgiving, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and just remember and to think of all the things that you have and be thankful for in life. This concludes my report, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Byer?
Yes, and the construction code has issued 243 permits and 16 certificates for the month of October. They collected $176,604. I just want to congratulate the new people, new councilmen, Monty Brooks, George Alvarez, and Gretchen Hickey on their win. Good job. And I'd like to congratulate our new mayor, Derek Armstead, and Michelle Yamakaitis, and also Bob Sadowski for their re-elections. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Brown?
Thank you, Council President. Approval is requested for the following finance actions. The payment of bills totaling $884,383.05. The bills have been signed by the mayor, council president, and finance chairman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. I move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Calvis?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Midachinko.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
yes,
Medina.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Thank you, Council President. Briefly, I just want to speak to residents in Linden. Over the last couple of months, there's been discussions in regards to the red light cameras that have been throughout the state of New Jersey. I just want to make residents aware that in December, if the state does not act, these cameras will be shut down, I believe, around December 16th. About 2 weeks ago, myself and the mayor went down to Trenton to talk to the state lawmakers about why Linden needs to keep these cameras. I'm not sure if most people know, but 4 out of 5 of our cameras are on Route 9. Since these cameras have been installed on Route 9 for the last 2 years, we have had 0 fatalities. My fear, and I believe the mayor shares it with me as well, is that if these cameras get removed, we're afraid of fatalities increasing, as well as we know that we're going to have increase in traffic due to the improvements made on Gothels Bridge. We know GM, that land is going to be developed, so we're going to talk about increasing traffic in those areas as well. What I'm asking for is help from the public to contact our state senator and assembly person and ask them to support legislation to continue this program for at least the next 2 years, where more data is collected from the Department of Transportation. I don't know if the mayor wants to share a few words before I give out their phone numbers.
Thank you, Councilman Brown. As everybody knows, I'm a strong supporter of the red light traffic safety cameras. 4 out of 5 of those cameras are on Route 1 and 9. Prior to having those cameras, we were getting our accident investigation team called out at least on an average of 15 times a year. In 2011, when we went into the red light cameras in the city of Linden, we had a reduction of 6 accident investigation call-outs a year, and none were on Route 1 and 9. Since 2011, we've had no fatalities on Route 1 and 9, and 4 out of our 5 traffic safety cameras are on Route 1 and 9. That, to me, proves that these cameras are providing safety for the driving public. Also, every morning, I go past the other traffic safety camera on Stiles and St. George, and it's changed my driving behavior dramatically. When that amber light comes on, I stop for the red light in anticipation of the red light, which is what every good driver should do. I'll be the first one to admit in the past I try to beat the amber light, and so that I would go through the intersection without getting caught with the red light. If anybody sits at Stiles and St. George during commuter time, you will see that as soon as that amber light goes on, people stop. And that's the whole concept of the traffic safety cameras, to improve driver behavior and change driver behavior. And it's obvious from the no fatalities on Route 1 and 9 since 2011, and the observation at Stiles and St. George that it is working. And it's going to be a shame that our legislatures, because of certain individuals that are putting political pressure on them, cave in and not support these red light cameras, which will self-destruct by legislation on December 16th. There's also one other issue I'd like to bring to everyone's attention, that yes, the city of Linden gets money for the red light cameras, but so does Union County. But there's a lot of other organizations that are going to be losing money, because $14 of every fine that an individual pays for red light cameras, $2 go for the automation fee for the traffic safety cameras, $1 goes to spinal cord research, $1 goes to autism, $3 go to the web fee for the traffic safety cameras, $1 for brain injury, $1 for body armor for law enforcement, $2 for DNA research, and $3 to modernize the program. So there's going to be some good organizations that are also going to be losing money when the red light cameras terminate December 16th. That's why it's important that everyone call their legislatures. The statistics in Linden speak for themselves. It is a tremendous benefit to our community. It's a tremendous benefit to the safety of the driving public, and it's just a shame that we can't continue the 5-year program, which we've instituted in Linden for 3 years, for 2 more years, so that we could get the data to make a intelligent decision. But unfortunately, because of certain Assemblyman O'Scanlan in particular, and Senator Doherty, they've raised public ire, and people don't understand the consequences of us losing these red light cameras. So again, please contact our Assembly people and let them know the City of Linden supports it. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor.
And on that note, I just want to remind people that, I mean, to me, this is a huge public safety issue. Just like Elizabeth Avenue, Wood Avenue was a big issue for me. If people remember, we had 4 people pass away or got hit and killed on Elizabeth Avenue, Wood Avenue, and this was due to people running red lights. My fear, again, if these lights get removed, we have children that cross Route 1 and 9 traveling to school, is that, unfortunately, an accident will occur. So, to me, this is a very important issue, and again, I ask for people to reach out to our state senator, who's Nick Scutari. His phone number is 908-587-0404. That's his office. And Linda Sender, she's our assembly person who's actually on the Transportation Committee, and her phone number is 908-668-1990. End of report, Council President.
And Assemblyman Green could probably help us out on that also.
Yes, I believe his phone number is 908-561-5757.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Councilman Armstead?
Yes, Mr. President. I have no reports, but I would just like to congratulate 4th Ward Councilman-elect Monty Brooks. He'll be my replacement, and I look forward to working with him. Monty and I have talked. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be sitting down so I can help him transition and help him along so that he could be a great councilman in the Fourth Ward, and I know he will be. He's a fixture over in that community, and everybody knows him. A lot of the kids know him, and I think he's going to do very well in the Fourth Ward. So once again, congratulations, Councilman-elect Brooks. I'd like to also congratulate Sixth Ward Councilman Robert Sadowski on his reelection. I'd like to congratulate Eighth Ward Councilwoman Michelle Yamakaitis on her reelection. I'd like to congratulate Gretchen Hickey. She is our councilperson elect in the 10th Ward. Look forward to working with you, Gretchen. I'm sure you're going to do a great job. You know, your heart and soul, you put your heart and soul into a lot of things that you do in this town, and we appreciate it. And also like to congratulate Council President-elect George Alvarez. Look forward to working with you, George. You got your hands full here. It's no easy task running these meetings, I'll tell you. And you've seen as much in Council caucus. And I'd like to also thank the mayor, current mayor, Mayor Gabunka. He's been true to his word. He mentioned that he would do everything in his power to make sure that the transition was smooth, and he has already begun giving me information as to how certain departments run that particularly the police department, and I don't have a lot of knowledge about the police department, but I want to thank him for being true to his word as we begin the transition. And finally, I'd like to, I don't want to say Happy Veterans Day, I'll say thank you to our veterans, because you guys, we share liberties that no other country in the world has because of veterans and people who have fought and died so that our country could be the great country that it is. So thank you very much. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cosby Hurley.
Thank you, Council President. I have a report from the Transportation and Parking, which is submitted by Tyrone Givens, the supervisor. I hereby submit the October 2014 monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking. This report includes the collection of parking meters, railroad, daily parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking for a grand total of $65,532.86. Also from the Transportation and Parking, beginning December 15th until January 2nd, the parking meters will be covered. They're going to be bagged for the holiday season, so no one will have to pay. So all of the meters will be covered. In the Fifth Ward, our engineering committee chairman mentioned that the water company is going to be going around and starting, weather permitting, to repair some of the roads that they had torn up. Bergen is prepared. I've seen the markouts and the no parking signs, so please adhere to the no parking signs so we can get these roads repaired before the winter months come in. And it looks like Essex is probably next. However, the schedule is going to be held in the engineering department if you wanted to get further information. We have in the Fifth Ward the Charles Street Park, and I don't see Mr. McDonald. If I got one call, I got 50 calls, and we got lots of people concerned about what's taking so long with the park. Today, they actually were putting the rubber safety mats down. So it's November, unfortunately, but the work is still being continued. And we're hopeful that we'll have a fantastic spring grand opening for the park because there's still lots of work that needs to be done. Concrete work started in our wards, so if your sidewalk was damaged by a city tree and you haven't reported or have not acknowledged that it was damaged in front of your house, please call me at 908-477-4120 so we can make sure that you are on the list. If it can't be done now, it'll be done in the spring. Also, emails. You can email me at not my email, it's rcosbyhurling@linden-nj.org if you have any questions or concerns. I just want to report before I close my report that we do have a survey, and the survey is closing for any interested adult, specifically parents, and those interested in what we do or what our children do between the hours of 3 and 7. And the survey's top 2 items are, yes, we need an after-school program, and one of the main reasons would be to keep our children safe and to help them with homework. So the survey closes at the end of this month. I will be sitting with our program coordinator in recreation, some other stakeholders and nonprofits in our community to see what we can as a community come up with to make sure that we have opportunities that one, keep our children safe, and also provide assistance with homework. So look forward to having a meeting at the end of December to see what we're going to do, if we can do anything to keep our children safe. I want to thank the veterans who are in the room, the veterans who may be watching, and all of the veterans for their service on today, which is Veterans Day. Again, we wouldn't be here had it not been for the men and women of our armed forces, so I totally appreciate you. And Democrats rock, that's all I'm gonna say. Congratulations to all my fellow Democrats. We did it, and I'm looking forward to moving our city in a new direction, continuing to build our city up, and happy Thanksgiving. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Sadowski.
Thank you, Council President. Just a few remarks. I just want to thank today all the servicemen who were out there protecting us. This morning, we went out, other fellow veterans, we went to the monuments. We paid tribute to those who had died. But I want to thank those who are still alive and are protecting us so we can sit here like we are now. Also, then now, I want to congratulate all the people who won the elections. You have winners, you have losers. I give credit for anyone who went and didn't win. It takes courage to go out there. But I want to congratulate Derek Armstead as mayor, George Alvarez as council president, Monty Brooks as councilman, Michelle Yamakaitis as councilwoman, Gretchen Hickey as councilwoman. Also, I want to thank all the 6th Ward residents who voted me back in. So it takes courage. Thank you all. In the 6th Ward, we have 6th School, which is by the building that's going up. The last couple of days, there has been resurfacing of Clinton Street. It has been a horrendous problem with the students, with the parents and teachers. But I just want to give all the parents, the teachers, the principal, and the children, they did a great job. It's very difficult with the street being up. You can't let the children off where you want to, but I just want to congratulate them and also congratulate the crossing guards and the policemen who handled that situation, because it was a dangerous situation. We still have the oil train. The oil train is still coming in by Smith and Hampton Street. It comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock, whatever it is. They promised us it wouldn't. Residents, if you have a complaint, please, I'll give you the number again. Where is it now? You could call up Mike Fesson at 201-239-3248, or if you really want to get him, you could call up on his cell phone. His cell phone is 219-406-9720. In our meetings, he said, any kind of complaints, please give him a call. So if you have one, give him a call. Let me see. One other thing, 2 other things, and that's it. Leaf collection will be starting in the streets sometimes this month. They have no regular dates because they don't know how long it will take or if anything breaks down, but starting in November, they will be picking up from the streets. Please, don't put them by the sewers. It goes down the sewers. Please don't do that. And the last thing is, we started a new year. Senior citizens, we have 2 good clubs in town. We have the Tremley Point Senior Citizens, and we have the Men's Club Senior Citizens. If you like companionship, if you like to eat, if you like whatever you want, please, give it a try. It costs you $5 a year, and to be truthful, you meet friends and you eat a lot of food. That's why I joined. No. Okay, to finish up, please, with Thanksgiving coming up, please have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Minichenko.
Thank you, Council President. I also would like to thank all our veterans for their years of service protecting our country. I also like to thank our current armed forces for one day they're also going to be veterans. Also, the POW MRAs who are missing. These are truly gone but not forgotten. I also like to congratulate all our candidates who won. I'm not going to mention your names. We all know who you are by now. I also like to congratulate our incoming mayor. Since January, I just got on in January to November, I've seen the city moving forward. And I just hope with this transition, we continue to move forward. And I'm sure we will. We got a great team here, and let's just keep this team together. With that, if anybody has any concerns in the 7th Ward, or if you need leaf bags, please oh, I'm sorry. I forgot something here. From the land, Hawk Rise, the New Jersey Audubon and Linden Hawk Rise update. New Jersey Audubon continues to provide public programming at Hawk Rise for school-aged children, families, and adults. New Jersey Audubon also continues to work with the Linden Public School Systems and has confirmed that every 5th and 7th grade student will be coming to Hawk Rise again this spring for a field trip. We also have forged a new partnership with Cox Printers in Linden. Mike Kaufman of Cox Printers is interested in partnering to build and install bird and bat boxes in Hawk Rise. Ideally, this will work out with students in the high school woodworking program and our Boy Scouts programs. Unfortunately, our September salt march at dusk as well as our October volunteer day were canceled due to rain, but not for a lack of interest. They will be having a woodland walk scheduled for Saturday, November 22nd, from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m., and that's at the Hawk Rise Sanctuary, Rangeville, Linden, and the cost for that is free. With that, if anybody from the 7th Ward has any concerns, or if they need leaf bags, they can contact me at mminichenko@linden-nj.org or 862-6265. And I'd like to wish everybody a safe, happy, healthy Thanksgiving. End the report, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Yamakaitis, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would also like to thank our veterans, and I won't be redundant. Congratulations to all the winners in the election. I'll start with Fire Committee report. The Fire Prevention Bureau collected a total of $6,936.50 for the month of October 2014. From the Health Department, the seasonal flu shots are available from the Linden Health Department. Call 474-8409 to register for your shot. There will be a hypertension blood pressure screening on Friday, December 12th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the council chambers at City Hall. And still, the free bicycle helmets remain available at the Health Department. Call the Health Department at 474-8420 to arrange a time to bring your child in to be measured for a free helmet. So we ask you please take advantage. It's a great program. We see so many kids out on the street riding without helmets. We are offering them for free. Linden's Animal Control Facility is now closed. Animals are still being picked up by Linden Animal Control and taken to the Associated Humane Society in Newark. This is a temporary contract until the end of the year. Linden is still negotiating where our animals will be taken for the upcoming year until we can hopefully rebuild a new facility. I want to take this time to thank FOLAS for all their assistance in helping to place and find foster homes or adoptions for some of the animals that were still there, the cats and the dogs. They really stepped up to the plate and helped out, so I'd like to say thank you to them. For the 8th Ward, McGilvery and Bachelor Parks, as Councilwoman Cosby Hurling had mentioned, they're under construction with Charles Street Park. They're working diligently trying to get these parks done. I'm getting a lot of calls about how excited the kids are, and I want to thank everyone for their patience and thank the Public Property Department for all their hard work in trying to get this done. My kids in the ward just can't wait. It's like they're waiting for Santa Claus for that park to be finished. So, just a reminder though, please don't let your kids on the equipment until the park is reopened. Okay. We also had a few break-ins in homes and cars in the 8th Ward. I have spoken to the mayor, and we have an increase in patrol in the area. We'd just like to remind anyone, if you see any suspicious activity, to call the police department, 474-8500. Please don't hesitate. Sometimes you might have a right tip that can catch whoever's doing this. We will be setting up a neighborhood watch meeting very shortly to address some of these issues. Last month, I mentioned that the Park Avenue Bridge was going to be paved. Last night, I was told we might not be able to get it done until possibly spring. We're hopeful that it will get done. Currently, they're paving Middlesex Street, so let's keep our fingers crossed because it's a big concern, that bridge. We're aware the lines are terrible. We need to get that bridge done. It needs to be a priority, so let's hope that it gets done. And I'd like to also thank our Public Works Department. Trees are starting to get trimmed and taken care of, so everybody's thanking people today. I would like to thank our tree guys, so doing a great job. And just conclude with happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Medina.
Yes, Council President, good evening, everyone. First, I would like to, again, also thank the veterans for their service and also our current men and women in the armed forces now. Without you guys, again, we won't be sitting up here. So again, thank you, and I hope you guys get thanked while you're out there. And I try to shake as many veterans' hands as I can, and also current folks in the armed forces. I do have a personnel committee report. It's kind of short, so I'll kind of get through it pretty quickly. Number one, in the Office of the Tax Assessors, the appointment of Fatima Miller, effective December 1st, 2014, as a Clerk 1 at the rate of $34,548, subject to successful completion of the background check and pre-employment exam. Number two, in the Police Department, the appointment of Katrina Kozak and Alexis McKenzie as full-time telecommunicator operators effective November 12th, 2014 at the rate of $34,547, subject to a background check and pre-employment exam. Number three, the approval of FMLA/NJFLA and unpaid sick leaves for the following personnel. Employee 788 FMLA leave from 9/22/14 through 12/22/14. Employee 107-216 FMLA/NJFLA leave from 7/26/14 through 10/26/14. Employee 91144 FMLA leave from 10/9/14 through 12/9/2014. Number four, the approval of the seasonal list, which is on file with the clerk's office. Number five, in the Department of Public Property and Community Services, the acceptance of the resignation of Robert Goebel Jr., effective July 11th, 2014. Make a motion for the approval of Personnel Committee report and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minichinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Just also want to mention that there's a book sale from the Friends of Linden Library November 12th at the library, of course, between 6 and 8 p.m.
Members only.
Members only. So definitely definitely get out there and encourage them. There are also 3 other days: November 13th between 9 and 4, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. November 14th between 10 a.m. and 4 a.m. and November 15th between 10 and 1, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there's also, I guess, they're selling bags as well for $4.
$4 a bag of books.
$4 a bag of book. There you go. So try to make it out there and support the Friends of Linden Library. It's a great library, so if you haven't been there yet, definitely try to go visit them. I do have actually I didn't write any report for the 9th Ward, but as you guys heard earlier, we finally adopted the 4-way stop sign for DeWitt and Orchard. As you guys know, it's been a long battle to try to make these 2 roads a lot safer for the people that live on them. So this is definitely going to be a big quality of life enhancement for the folks on DeWitt and Orchard, not only for them, but primarily for the kids that utilize, especially DeWitt, for McManus, Deerfield, and Highland School. A lot of these kids walk, especially the middle school, and a lot of parents are dropping off their children in the morning. This is definitely going to hopefully slow down the traffic, wake people up to hopefully they stay between the 20 to 25 miles per hour zone, especially in the morning commute when the children are being transported to school or walking back and forth to school. So this is definitely a big win for the 9th Ward. I also want to say the 10th Ward as well, because DeWitt is kind of the borderline for 9th and 10th Ward, and again, a lot of people utilize this road to get from point A to point B, but now they're going to have to do it a little bit slower and hopefully safer. So that's definitely a big win for for the residents of the 9th and partly the 10th Ward. Besides that, leaves, they'll be out there hopefully sometime this month to pick them up. Again, try not to pile them right next to our storm drains, because if it rains, all the leaves will go down and obviously clog it up and then cause some flooding. Hopefully not. Other than that, just have a great Thanksgiving. And, before, I almost forgot, I want to congratulate all the newly elected and re-elected, and also congratulate Derek Armstead on his win, and I look forward to working with him next year. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Move into Mayor Kabunka's report.
Thank you, Council President. Again, I would like to congratulate all the newly elected council persons and newly elected council president, and also the 2 council persons that are re-elected, and of course Mayor-elect Derek Armstead, who I'm going to be working very closely with to transition my administration to his, for his benefit and also the benefit of this great city, the city of Linden. I'd also like to repeat a little bit of what Councilwoman Yamakaitis said concerning looking out for your neighborhood and your neighbors. Again, we do have burglaries throughout the city periodically, and that's unfortunate, but it does happen, and the police have a hard time trying to control that. It's important and imperative that the residents keep an eye out for each other. And if you see anything suspicious, don't hesitate to call. Call 474-8500 and explain to the dispatcher what is so suspicious and with the location. I'd rather have 10 or 15 false alarms, because that 16th one will be the real alarm and will catch somebody burglarizing a person's house. So don't be afraid to call. If it's a false alarm, that's fine. The police officers will check it out, and nobody's going to know the difference who called. So please look out for your neighbors and look out for your neighborhood. And again, as the 9th Ward Councilman said, leaves are going to be coming down from the trees. They're doing it now. People will be raking the leaves in the streets. Please leave a little gap between the curb and where you rake your leaves in the street for any water to run, so that the leaves are not washed down the sewers and block our sewers. And also, people got to realize that we recycle leaves, so don't throw brush on top of your leaf pile in the street. We do not pick up the brush with the leaves. We take all the leaves and bring it to our landfill and recycle it. So I have directed Public Works, if there's brush on top of the leaves, for them to throw that brush back on your front lawn. That goes out during garbage or trash, not during leaf collection. End of report, Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, we'll move into a presentation that we've been waiting on for the Veteran of the Year Award. Ask Ron Stefanowitz and Mayor Gabunka to please come down and present the presentation for the veteran who couldn't make it tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, council members, and all here to share with us today, Veterans Day, in honoring one of our own as Veteran of the Year. Today is Veterans Day, and today we honored all those young men, young women who are now veterans who dared to raise their hand and take the solemn oath to preserve our country, protect it, and to protect our Constitution. We are very fortunate that we will be presenting this evening this honor to Sergeant Joe Wojcik. In Polish, it's Wojcik. Joe had joined the service in 1947, and he served for 3 years, got out, and when the Korean War broke out, Joe enlisted, and he served in the Korean War. Following the service in Korea, he came back, and he entered the Medical Corps of the U.S. Army. He worked in hospitals. He also was a medic in Vietnam. For those of you who served in the infantry, you know the value of a combat medic. They'll go out there under fire and apply that tremendous service to preserve life. Joe was one of them. Joe also served in the psychological unit in Vietnam, where he interrogated prisoners, and he also worked psychologically, dropping pamphlets and other things. But what Joe is noted for, while he was serving there in Vietnam, Joe, like many of us who served following a war where there's all this collateral damage, it's the young children and the elderly who suffer. Joe was assigned to a village to do an interrogation, but he adopted an orphanage there. He sent back to his post, which was Post 91, Polish-American veterans, and they had this tremendous collection of food and clothing for all the young children, as well as the senior people. So tonight, we honor Joe for his patriotism, his valor, and coming home and joining the veterans group to continue serving veterans, as well as keeping his oath to support his community, his state, and his country. So to you, Joe, I know you're ill, but this presentation comes from the Linden Veterans Council, all who respect you. Mayor?
I have the honor of presenting this plaque to Joe Wojcik from the Linden Veterans Council 2013 Veteran of the Year. And I'm going to read it. It's a bit lengthy, but it deserves to be read because this man had a distinguished military career. And the Linden Veterans Council has designated Joe Wojcik the honor of Veteran of the Year for his fundamental qualities of courage, pride, determination, selflessness, and dedication to duty with integrity. Sergeant Wojcik is commended for his committed service to his country and his service to the veterans organizations and his active participation in service to his community by participating in civic programs. Joe Pepper Wojcik had a distinguished U.S. Army service record, serving in the Medical Corps. Medics are those who serve the health needs to the military servicemen in peacetime and in war. Medics courageously provide life-saving medical applications to U.S. wounded combat troops on the battlefield, saving many lives. Sergeant Wojcik served in the National Guard from 1947 to 1951, activated to regular Army in 1951, and served in Germany from 1952 to 1953 as a medic. Between 1956 and 1958, he served in Korea as a combat medic with the 7th Medical Battalion and 7th Infantry Division. In 1960 to 62, he served in France with the 19th Field Station Hospital. Between 1963 and 1964, he was stationed at Fort Bragg, 519th Military Battalion, training as a Vietnam interpreter. From 1964 to 1969, he served in Vietnam as a combat veteran with MAC as an advisor with operations against the Viet Cong and medical evacuation of the wounded. His Vietnam service included a member of the 19th Psychological Ops as an interrogator. In late 1966, he participated with the Marines in landing in Mekong Delta, conducting operations against the Viet Cong. From 1968 to 1969, he served with the 8th Psychological Operations as Sergeant of Operations Planning, working with the Air Force 9th SOS, dropping leaflets to the Viet Cong areas. He served in Fort Bragg from 1969 to 1973 as First Sergeant Operations Sergeant for 13th Psychological Ops Headquarters Company. Sergeant Wojak retired in 1973 after 25 years of patriotic service to his country. Sergeant Wojak earned the following military decorations: Combat Medic Badge, Vietnam Service Medal, Bronze Star, Air Medal, and South Korea Service Medal. Sergeant Wojak is a lifetime member of the Polish Legion of American Veterans, Post 91, Vietnam Veterans, Chapter 779, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 1397, Linden American Legion, Post 102. He is also the hospital chairperson at Menlo Park and Lions Veteran Hospital. Joe, it's an honor for me to be here and read this distinguished military career, and we all thank you for protecting us over your 25-year career.
Mayor, it's an honor to accept the Veteran of the Year Award for Sergeant Wojcik. I'll be glad to bring it to him and also bring the good tidings and the good luck from the council as well as everyone who's here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stefanowitz. We'll move into resolutions 2014-397 through 2014-425. Public comments will be permitted for those specific resolutions to be removed from the consent approval. Please read the synopsis of the resolutions, which have been prepared by the clerk's office. Each is informative and self-explanatory. However, if you wish to address a specific resolution, the council will entertain questions on it. Does anyone in the chambers wish to remove resolutions 397 through 425? Am I right? Pat Hero? 399, 415, 420, and 421. In the center of the room. Ms. Malik? 412, 413, 415, 416, and 417. In the center of the room, sir. 418. On my left, Mr. Sharpie. 402, 403, 404, 405, 407, 408, 413, 417. Last one. 416. Motion on the remainder, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion to approve resolutions 2014-397. Excuse me one second. Through 2014-425, with the exception of 399, 399, 402, 403, 404, 405, 407, 408, 412, 413, 415, 416, 417, 418, 420, and 421, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown? Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minichinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. We'll start with 399. Pat Hero, please.
This says, resolution requesting permission from the Director of Division of Local Government Services for approval of the dedication by right of revenues received by the municipality
Please
Mrs.
turn
Zhang.
on your mic.
Could
Your
you
mic.
repeat that? Turn on your mic.
Okay. It's the resolution requesting permission from the Director of the Division of Local Government Services for approval of a dedication by rider for revenues received by municipality for Municipal Public Access Fund required by the state of New Jersey. First of all, what's a Municipal Public Access Fund?
I can handle that,
Mr.
Council.
Mayor?
Municipal Public Access Plan is a plan that's the DEP of New Jersey requires municipalities that have tidal waterways or oceans to adopt. That was basically done for the shore communities where they have an ocean, so public access can be had, but it's also for tidal waterways which are abut the city of Linden with the Arthur Kill and the Rollway River. And what that requires is public access, but there's any development that is being done, they're required to have public access, but because of Homeland Security or private security reasons, they cannot let the public enter their property, and in particular the city of Linden on the Arthur Kill. In lieu of allowing the public to enter their property, they have to pay a certain amount of money to other public access municipalities so that they could foster public access to the waterways. And the city of Linden has Hawk Rise Sanctuary, where we're going to have kayaking as phase 3 of our development of the Hawk Rise, and therefore we have this fund dedicated in our Treasury Department so that when developers start building like Goodman Bircher on their property, they could give us money to use for the improvements of Hawk Rise Sanctuary and a public access to the Rollway River with kayaking and rowboating.
Okay, and this goes along with number 415? The Municipal Public Access Plan?
That's the actual plan. Again, I'm proud to say that the city of Linden is the first community in the state of New Jersey to be approved for a public access plan. And that took a lot of hard work by a lot of dedicated individuals, in particular Dolores Maslow, who retired from our school system and volunteered her time to get this plan of 25 pages approved and adopted by the DEP. And again, we are the first the first municipality in the state to have a municipal public access plan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that question. Have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, make a motion to approve Resolution 2014-399 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Medichinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
And yes.
Oh, Mr. Moore, I'm sorry.
Mr. Sharpie, 402. Would you like to combine 402, 403, 404? Yes. And 405?
Yes, yes, because this law department and everything, discussed it in the back, it's like overtime, like $57,000 over the whole period of the whole year. That's what I'm hoping that the next administration and the next council will be in agreement with me that we hire from January 1st through December 31st, 2 prosecutors and 2 public defenders throughout the year. There's just extra funds, extra lawyers from out of town and everything. We want to keep Linden first. I feel that the prosecutors and the public defenders should be Linden attorneys and Linden. We want to keep Linden first, and everyone that works and lives in this town. The law department for a city this size should be run the correct way. Like other towns, have pay yearly salaries for both prosecutors and both public defenders. It all is paid under the city taxes, and residents want that. They don't want to be outsourcing, going outside, so-called book up there in the back room. No. Let's keep Linden first, Linden everything first. Not going outside for attorneys. We got attorneys that practice law here in town. They should have the right first. Not going outside of town, so-called book upstairs. No, that doesn't drive with me. I've been in public government all my life, from the city of Pottsville all the way down here to Linden. And congratulations to all the winners, the people who spoke their piece, and congratulations, Derek and Mayor Kabunka. Congratulations on your past 8 years dealing with this town. I know it was hard, but
Mr. Sharpie,
people
let's keep
spoke.
it to 402, 403,
that- all
404,
of them are the same,
405.
yes.
Have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 402, 403, 404, and 405, and I seek a second.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Sharpie, 407, would you like to combine with 408?
This appointment here is a 4-year term, but I think due to there's a new administration coming in, new people, new council and everything, I think this should only be for 1 year. It's my feeling, you know, let's do things right. Not going with the same thing it's always been. You know, 4 years, well, it's a new administration. You know, January 1st. You know, I feel 1 year is sufficient, not 4 years for these officials and, you know, the engineer, the construction and everything, you know. We don't know where we're gonna be tomorrow. How are we gonna know we're gonna be 4 years from now? You know, I know this has always been the same, you know, but I feel these 4 appointments here should be 1 year, not the whole 4 years. That's it.
Council President,
Councilman Brown?
if the city clerk can correct me, these are all appointments by the council, and these are statutory appointments as far as the limitations. These aren't mayor appointments. And so we have committees and we have boards, and these are just appointments on those boards. Those are what the terms usually are. So it's set in statute and in ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President,
Mr. Armstead.
furthermore, we don't have a problem with the people who are being appointed. And they're very capable, and I think they work very well with any administration.
Further comments? Seeing none, motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 407 and 408, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Okay, on the next one, 413, 416, and 417 are similar. Mr. Sharpie, want to lump them together?
Council President, 412 as well.
412.
And 412, I'm sorry.
Frank.
But he hasn't asked to speak on 412.
Yeah, okay, they're all the same, yeah. They're both-
413, 416, and 417 are on the same subject matter.
Yeah, same subject.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Ms. Malik to come up and speak on the 4 of them.
Which one?
12, 13, 16, and 17.
Just on 412, how much use do we have for this the forestry truck?
Okay. Speak into the microphone, please. Introduce yourself.
Frank McCucci, Department of Public Works Supervisor. Currently, we're using one truck. We have 2 trucks. The older truck right now it's out of service. We're not allowed to use it. Yeah, this is the big 70. This is the one that gives us the elevation with the new elevator on it, so this way we don't have to work on the wires as much. and it gives us for the bigger trees, and the man, and easier, make it easier for our guys and safer.
So it's a ladder truck,
It's not a ladder truck, it's actually a boom truck. But what happens, it has a 10-foot elevator in the middle, which gives us an extension of 10 feet higher, so we can get to the bigger trees and stuff.
I'll ask for a motion then just on 412, and we'll do the other three.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of Resolution 412, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Ms. Malik, on 413, 416, 417,
You can lump those all together, right?
please.
On all of these different resolutions, the individuals that are appointed here are professionals, like the PE, you have the business professional. Is there any compensation to these appointments?
No.
No? Okay.
Further
This is a
comment?
special board. When the decision of the a building inspector in, let's say, in issuing an electrical permit or approving electrical work is challenged by the contractor, this board hears the case and makes a decision as to what applies.
Motion, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 413, 416, and 417, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 415, Pat Hero, please.
Actually, that was answered beforehand, so I think I'll pass on speaking on that. Thank you.
Ms. Malik. Motion, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 415 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
No.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. On 418, John Roman.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted clarification. 418 says resolution canceling various grants receivable and reserves in amount of $128,000. I'm not sure what it means or what is it? I don't know.
Mrs. Zach?
Yes, the various grants in this resolution are from 2003, 2005. They're old grants that the grant period is done, and we're trying to clean up the reserves and receivables to be in compliance with best practices. This is something we do from time to time.
I know we received grants where these grants received, we used them.
Right, and the grant period is done. So for instance, one of the grants was local domestic preparedness from 2003. The grant period is done, so we need to close that grant out.
Okay.
They're no longer allowed to spend out of those grants.
If I want the language of the resolution, could I see it?
I'm sure the city clerk has
Thank you,
copies.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Motion, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 418 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Midachinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 420, Pat Hero, please.
Mike,
There's
turn your mic on, please.
Sorry.
If you want, I can
Barely
answer
get
that.
on. What's a runway protection zone?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have a companion ordinance on for introduction also. The FAA requires that there is a zone at the end of the runway in which construction cannot occur. It's the clear area where the planes are taking off. That's the area across from the runway on Route 1 and 9 on the other side, which was the old GM parking lot part of it. Part of the FAA requirements with the grants they give us is that we adopt a no construction zone within that area as a protection for the runway.
Okay, thank you.
Motion on 420, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 420 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
No.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minichinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 421, Pound Hero.
Okay, this is adopting best practices requirement for the mayor and council, requiring elected officials to attend on an annual basis at least one instructional course covering the responsibilities and obligations of elected officials. I think this is vitally necessary and one that you should delight in doing because you are leaders of the city of Linden. You were elected to be leaders of the city of Linden. And as I learned about a few years ago when I was at the Global Leadership Summit, it's important for leaders to maintain leadership skills. And they encouraged us to read a book on leadership once a month. And while that might be excessive, it might not be bad for you also to read a book on leadership at least once a year to keep yourself challenged and fresh. We're getting in an age where more and more information is coming at us faster and faster. And it's important to be able to discern good information from bad information. And that's what we count on you to make the decisions. So you should be encouraged for continuing education and things like that. So I welcome this, and I hope you enjoy it too.
Thank you. Motion, please.
Yes, Council President, I make a motion for the approval of 421 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Kalbus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Crosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minichinko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Move into ordinance on first reading. Number 5871, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-33 Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A Handicap Parking on Street shall be amended as follows. Add 44 West 12th Street and 630 Morningside Avenue.
Comments from members in the chamber, from the public? Motion, please.
Council President, I ask for introduction of ordinance 58-71 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colobus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown? Yes. Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minorchenko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5872, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning shall be amended as follows. Amend 31-3 zoning district and zoning map. Add to Section 31-3.1 zoning districts, RPZ runway protection overlay zone.
Public comments from the chamber? Seeing none, I ask for a motion.
Yes, Mr. President. I ask for introduction of ordinance 58-72 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colobus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
No.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minorchenko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5873, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 2 Administration, Article 3 Organization of Government, Section 2-7.2 Committees. Delete Section 2-7.2 Committees of the City Council in its entirety and add 2-7.2 new committees.
Comments from members of the public? Mr. Alvarez?
Hello, everybody. George Alvarez, in case you don't know me. There's about 28% new of this council coming in January, and it's very vague about the powers that this committee is going to have. I asked once before, I'm going to ask again, table this till the next year. I will personally, and I don't know how anybody else feels, I want to know a little bit, I want to be a little bit more clear on the powers that the chairperson and that this committee are going to have. When we're dealing with lawyers, it could be problematic, which we can bring us into a lot of problems if we ask the right questions. So all I'm asking now is for more information, and basically, my suggestion is table it. We got 28 new % coming in, and we can talk about it in January.
Thank you very much. Motion, please.
Council President, I make a motion for the introduction of ordinance 58-73 73 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colubus?
No.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
No.
Sadowski?
I vote no, but the reason I'm voting no is just what George said. I think we should have the new people see what it's about and have a voice in it. So for that reason, I vote no.
Minorchenko?
No.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes, for introduction. 5874.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-42 Parking Fines, 7-42.1 Fines established shall be amended as follows. Temporary parking prohibited during snow plowing and removal, $100, and emergency no parking, $100.
Comments, please? Mr. Sharpie?
Yes, with winter upon us again, you know, it's just around the corner. You know, the importance of raising this is okay, because, you know, we never know what we're gonna get ahead in winter. You know, we wanna keep these side streets opened up. You know, 24 hours is sufficient enough time for people to remove their cars, especially on these smaller streets, and there's a need for this to be done. You know, it's a shame, but the trucks gotta get through, and these side streets is very hard. You know, especially on days where there's no parking on Thursday or no parking, you know, please have your car away from it. You know, put them in your driveways, you know. It's very difficult for these bigger trucks and even the smaller trucks to get through. You know, so it's important that you remove your car. If any snow comes down, please move it to the opposite side of the street so that the guys can do their job right at night. You know, it's very difficult to be going in and out, you know, so 24 hours is sufficient enough time for you to remove your car or trucks or whatever you have.
Thank you.
So I'm in agreement with this $100 fine.
Councilwoman Cosby Hurley?
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to remind our neighbors that last year we did have some major issues on the snow emergency roads, and that's what this ordinance actually is doing. It's increasing the fine on designated snow emergency roads. In addition to doing that, it's for when the street is designated emergency no parking. So it's going to be $100 because our experience last year was that people just decided to leave their cars because they didn't have any other place to park them. So we will again this year look to have alternate parking. I know in my area we have the LMPC parking lot, and we're going to actually seek the ability to use one of the parking lots on Dill Avenue for School 4 so that we don't have to worry about people's cars being left and we're having traffic issues. So we had this up last night, and I'm grateful to the clerk that he was able to get it on the agenda tonight, and I hope that everyone will support this as we did last night.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Motion, please.
Mr. President, I move for introduction of ordinance 5874 and request a second.
Second.
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minorchenko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5875, please. If there-
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,035,000 for the upgrade of lighting in Memorial Park and authorizing the issuance of $983,250 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost.
I believe there's copies on the front desk here. Wasn't included in the agenda. If anyone has any questions on it.
I want to make a comment.
Councilwoman Cosby Hurley?
Yeah, our committee, Public Property and Recreation, this is a matching grant. As everyone knew from 2012, there was some turf that was proposed and it was voted down. Our committee has. I get the right to speak.
Councilwoman? yeah.
Sorry.
Can you talk about orders on introduction?
You can make a comment.
I'm making a comment.
You could comment, you just can't answer any questions.
Continue with your comments.
Forgive my colleague. He was confused that I couldn't make a statement, but I can. And I'm just going to say that this is a change in scope. And what we're trying to do is upgrade the lighting at the parks. So our job is to make sure that we have this ordinance on, and we have to move to the county committee to see if they will approve the change in scope. While some people are going to have concerns about the amount, in the long run, it's going to probably benefit us because we're looking to introduce a fee schedule for our lighted fields. And in the future, it's going to kind of be an offset, if that makes any sense. People are being paid to turn the lights on and off, and with an upgrade, we can look to have remote access where you can turn it on from even a desktop. So while people will look at this and they'll see the amount and express their concerns, in our committee, we did go over this, and we are hopefully going to get as much of the old grants that were never given to us from the county to help and change the scope. So that's just my statement, just so that everyone understands what it's about. So next month on hearing, people are asking all these questions, and you kind of already have a basic understanding.
Thank you for the explanation, Councilwoman. Motion, please.
Council President, I make a motion for introduction of ordinance 58-75 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Colubus?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minorchenko?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Medina?
Before I vote yes, I just want to vote yes for the introduction of this ordinance. Again, I just want to make sure I'm clear that I am reserved on this ordinance as well, so yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Thank you. All right, we'll move into comments from members in the public in attendance. Please quiet down. On city business, no personal, political, derogatory comments, not to exceed 5 minutes. I ask Pat Hero to come on up, please.
Once again, I feel a little chill in the air. First Amendment chilling, of course. This is Veterans Day. Originally, it was Armistice Day. We're celebrating the 100th anniversary of World War I, 1914 to 1918. It's how it was originally done. It was originally supposed to be the war to end all wars. And obviously, many wars since, they haven't ended. So we have to thank all the veterans who have fought in those wars, who have gone and defended our freedoms in foreign countries, not knowing whether they'd ever return. Some of them being disabled in mind, in body, never fully recovered, and sometimes never even getting the respect or acknowledgement that they deserved. Some of them even being made fun of because of their injuries on the streets of the United States, when no veteran should ever be made fun of because of what he endured. I'm thinking of one in particular, but I'm sure there are others. Veterans who are forced to live on the streets of the state in the United States of America, still not respected for what they deserved. We have to treat our veterans better, and we should give them far more credit and far more help to get back on their feet and resume their rightful place in society, and always, always remember to honor veterans. I am the daughter of a World War II veteran, and I'm very, very proud to be there, and I know exactly what he went through, having read about it, never talked about it because veterans don't really talk about what they did. They just went out and did it and came back home. And we're glad to be reunited with their families. Now, this is Thanksgiving, and of course there is a tradition, and so I'd like to continue the tradition of the Thanksgiving speech. Might be a little edgy this year because you got a chance to be without me for a few months. And as I said, if people don't miss you, if the public didn't miss me, I wasn't doing my job, and if you miss me, I wasn't doing my job.
3 minutes.
So, thank you, Councilman Medina. You've done a great, great service, and I have appreciated it. And I also like to thank Councilman Adam Kaczynski, whose term ends this year, but it was very much appreciated. I appreciated both him and his wife, and thanks for their service. Councilwoman Yemakaitis, you got reelected. Congratulations on that. Well, I would have liked to have had you had another opponent during the November election, just because I think everybody should have an opponent. Your people came through for you, and I acknowledge that. Councilman Minarchenko, I look at you, and yes, I still see somebody who I wanted to be there. I can't help it, I do. But you know what? I would like you to be the voice for eminent domain abuse, to pick up the standard that was left by him. Councilman Zadowski, thank you for getting reelected, and I just want to say, keep listening to the people, because you'll hear a lot if you listen. Councilwoman Cosby Hurling, I just want to say that while I appreciate you, I do wish that you would acknowledge giving us a little bit more time. You could learn a lot from us, and I wish you would, and thanks for remembering people's birthdays. Councilman Armstead, it's kind of poignant me being here, because next month will be the last month I've had the opportunity. It's been 10 years, you and me, looking at each other at the podium. I really couldn't think of a much better person. You always sat there looking at me with such concern and thoughtfulness. I am personally going to miss that a lot, and I can only hope Monty Brooks carries on in that tradition. Councilman Brown, while we disagree on a lot of things, I do appreciate your professionalism in dealing with me. Councilman Byer, I know it's going to be hard next year, but maintain your independence, both you and Councilman Medina, the loyal opposition. I'm going to count on you. Everybody needs a loyal opposition. Stand strong. We need it. Councilman Colobus, I'd like to thank you. You've been very professional and personal with me, and I do appreciate your service. Councilman Moore, Council President Moore, I'm going to miss you. It's been an interesting 4 years, and I know it's probably what you want, but I am going to miss you. Thank you. Although I hope Council President does not pick up on the no personal, political, or derogatory comments. Remember that, Mr. Alvarez, I'll hold you to that. And Mayor Gabunka, it's been a long 8 years, and you've never had the council you had to work with, never. And as a result, I don't know that people appreciated you the way they should. People think mayors are the ones in charge. In reality, it's really the council that's always been in charge. But you did a good job, and I hope you appreciate that. Maybe the voters, for whatever reason, didn't acknowledge it, but remember, at the end, it's the job you did. As my mother said, you always have to look yourself in the mirror, and I think you can look yourself in the mirror, and in some ways, some of us have issues, but I think in some of the ways you can be very proud of the job you did. And like I said, there are other issues, but that's something to talk about maybe later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You just got in there. Gretchen Hickey?
Good evening, everyone. Gretchen Hickey, Inwood Road. First of all, I would just like to say, growing up in a household, my father was in the Army. He was in the Vietnam War, and it was never spoken of, unfortunately, until our generation. When we have a situation of terrorist attacks like 9/11, I personally didn't realize the importance of a veteran until a situation like that happens. And for our generation, it shows what unity they have, what protection they give us every day, and I want to thank each and every one of them. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate Mayor-elect Eric Armstead, Councilwoman Yamakaitis, Councilman Sadowski, George Alvarez, and Monty Brooks. I look forward to not only working with them, but to working with everyone. I will miss you, Mayor, as well. You've done a great job, and we've, over the past year or two, have come along to have a good relationship together, and I appreciated that we could always work together. On behalf of the Cultural Committee, I want to let everyone know on Friday, December 5th, we will be having our annual holiday party, and our tree lighting, which will start at 6 p.m. in front of City Hall, rain or shine. We will be continuing in JTG Center with refreshments, entertainment, a visit from Santa, Mrs. Claus, and of course, gifts for all the children. I spoke to council earlier, and at the next caucus meeting, which I attended my first one last night, so the next one, we are going to draw numbers and have each council person be the judge for a different ward in our city. This year, we're expanding a little more, and every council, so perhaps Councilwoman Cosby Hurling will get the first ward, and vice versa. I think it's important for us all to participate, and fortunately, we have Sam's Club, who I believe will be sponsoring this whole event. We will have 3 winners in every ward who decorate their house, and hopefully in January, we can announce them at the next council meeting. I'll also make flyers up and send them home to all the children in schools, because I think that's a great way of communication. And Thursday night is our cultural committee meeting at 7 p.m. In order to be in the contest, though, this year, you will have to sign up. If you want to get a jump start before the flyers go home in school, you can email me at Gretchen Marie, GretchenMarie, @AOL.com, so I can start getting our list going of participants. And wishing everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Sharpie?
I want to respect the veterans, first of all, who served their country. My father and all those other great men throughout the wars. Myself and my nephew sitting at home there. He served back in Desert Storm. And, veterans come first. And congratulations to the great city of Linden, New Jersey. They spoke their piece. All the taxpayers, congratulations to all the winners. And Mayor Gabunka, you've served this city for a great 8 years, and I'm very proud of what the city has elected. It didn't cost us nothing. And that's the way you run a campaign. Don't cost you nothing because you're elected to serve the people of Linden. There's no party involved once you're elected up there. You take the oath of office. You're there to represent the taxpayers and those that have you elected. Party line stops when you're sworn in. And we've made a point of that, and that's the way the next 4 years will go. You're elected by the people and to serve the people, because they're the ones who pay your salary. No one else. It was a great campaign, and there was no fighting, and it's the way all political offices should be held. I was very proud of it. When you go door to door and you see people and you ask them what their problem is, and they give you answers, and they did that. And congratulations, Mayor, and all those winners. And I hope we can work together in the next 4 years as a team, 12 people running this city and moving it forward, not backwards, and we'll be successful. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the city, and may you have many more. And that's all.
Thank you very much. The following council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, December 15th, 2014 at 6 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting Tuesday, December 16th, 2014 at 6 p.m. in the council conference room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council meeting Tuesday, December 16th, 2014 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Kalbas?
Yes.
Byer?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Minichinko?
Yes.
Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Medina? Mr. Moore?
Yes, and thank you for watching this evening.